Fingers.
As you can see, I got the dominant. Yeah. 3-0. Hype train. Welcome to the Comox Valley Pizza Playoffs Championship matchup. This all started as just one hungry guy on a diet thinking about pizza. Now we've had 4 nights of fantastic pizza tasting. We've had 25 different judges and 32 different boxes of pizza. It all comes down to this: Beaver Convenience and Roy's Town Pub. Let the better pizza win. All right, first bite of the championship. This is definitely Beaver Convenience. It's got a really good blend of cheese. The crust is tasty, but it's thicker than I'd like. And Roy's Town. It's a bold flavor. Like the crust a tiny bit more. I've got my mind made up. Let's see what the judges think though.
I'm giving it to Beaver. It's like a warm hug, the Beaver pizza. And normally I'm not a big thick crust person, but it's crunchy. It's got, it's just satisfying. Yeah. And Roy's, I love the oregano in Roy's. I like that, but it just didn't have quite the pop that Beaver did. So
I'm also going to go Beaver. Roy's was good, but we're going on what we thought was better, and same issue I've had throughout, just too much oregano for me. So I'd go Beaver.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go with Beaver on this one. I really like the crust. It rose really well while it was cooking, and it's nice and fluffy, but yet still has a good crunch to it. The Roy's lost me on the oregano, unfortunately. It was a little too much for me. So yeah, it's going to Beaver.
Okay, well, I definitely picked Roy's Town again. I absolutely love the flavor. That's got less crust. I hate real thick crust that I have to chew too much. They were very close, but I gave Roy's Town a 10 in the first taste. I gave him a 10 again, and I gave Beaver an 8 because it also had some good flavor too.
they're both really good. This is the finals, and they are both really, really good pizzas. I'm picking Roy's Town because I like the oregano in the sauce, and I think it's got a little bit better of a crust. I mean, I like thick crust. Beaver's like super thick, which is kind of cool. But the sauce is nicer on roast, and the fluffy crust is nicer, and that's my pick.
That's 3-2.
I have never had either of these pizzas, and I was pleasantly surprised. I'm surprised that Beaver is made at a convenience store. But it was really well rounded. Like right away, my salivary glands are just like gushing. It's got it all. It's got really nice cook on the cheese, and the crust is soft. And the Roy's Town, I did like the oregano, but it was on the strong side. So Beaver it is.
They were both delicious. I like thick crust pizzas. The Roy's, at first the cheese fell off of my piece. And it was really hard to cut, but I think that was your cutters, not the pizza. I was a little worried, but I'm blaming it on you. And it was a little dark, and I thought it was going to be really hard, the crust, but it wasn't. I was really surprised. It was still really easy to eat, and the sauce was really creamy, and I really liked Beaver, but I felt it was a bit too salty for me. So I'm going to have to go with Roy's.
Roy's. So
yeah.
4-3.
I'm going to have to go with Beaver Convenience on this one for myself. Roy's Town fell short for me on the first one, and it fell short for me on the second one, mostly because of the crust. I felt it was too dense. But the Beaver Convenience was really nice and fluffy, had really consistent flavor, and somebody said it was like a warm hug. It was good. Yeah. Beaver
All right,
convenience.
so 5 votes Beaver Convenience, 3 votes Roy's, 6 votes to win. What do you got, Scott?
Well, both of their pizzas were actually better than the last time, which I was surprised by. And it was really close. They're both very similar pizzas to me. They're both bowling ball in your gut pizzas the next day. That's not my favorite. I would go Church Street again, but out of these two, they were incredibly close, but I would definitely go a Roy's in the end. It's just not a lot of sauce in my Beaver Convenience one. The cheese was really thick, not quite the flavor that I like, so Roy's Town, but again, super close.
That's 5-4.
It's a lot of pressure to put on me.
A lot of pressure, Bruce.
But I picked Roy's Town. It was really close. The Beaver pizza was it was better than the first one I had, but not quite enough. It was just, still crust was a little bit too doughy and squishy. Roy's Town was just perfect.
So we're making it 5. So this is the championship matchup. We've got 10 judges here. 5 have voted for Beaver. 5 have voted for Roy's Town. It comes down to me. It's almost like this is scripted, but it really isn't. I ate both slices from the very beginning. Coming into this, it seemed like Beaver Convenience, like everybody was pumping up Beaver Convenience. I'd never had it before. It came in and it was great. Roy's Town, also never had it before. The first time I had it, amazing. 10 out of 10 pizza. Roy's Town had a bit of a mishap last time. Beaver Convenience barely beat Domino's. And then tonight, for tasting of both, Roy's Town, great crust, easy to eat, but the cheese is almost a little congealed. I think somebody said it in another round. Beaver Convenience, I don't love the crust as much, but it has some flavor to it, which is what I'm always looking for. And the cheese blend is perfect. It really comes down to the taste on the two. Roy's Town, a little bit too much oregano. Beaver, exactly what I want. I gotta give this Beaver Convenience best pizza in the Comox Valley.
Thin crust, just mwah, not even close.
Ditto and ditto. I'm Beaver as well.
This is a good pizza.
Pizzas. And it has any flavor at all.
Yeah, I'm a Mr. J's fan.
But how does it land?
Well,
I don't want one thing, I want it all.
Tasted like those fake dime bags.
I've had Beaver before, it's heavy stuff.
It's just a classic. It's a classic, so.
The cheese and the flavor for Beaver, which is way better.
Hey.
And the dough and the sauce.
Use your dirty fingers.
The match. It will still be my favorite. They just kind of...
To meet some personal pan, double baked. Sure, I said fresh slice.
That's a really tough call.
Hold the camera higher for you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough to knock off Riders.
Just around the outside, all kind of melted and a little bit black.
I hate real thick crust.
That's 2 votes Beaver, 1 vote Pizza Hut.
I'm gonna go.
Roy's Town, because at least that was nice.
As you can see, that is a
Yeah.
All I could taste was the sauce, and it was super overpowering.
In fact, a really crunchy yet chewy crust and gooey cheese that pulls apart.